Hi, my name is Beer, and let's start with The Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings Enhanced Edition. Everyone knows, and most of us have played the third Witcher, but just a few of us have tried previous parts. Well, I played all of them and I can share my quick insights about part 2. So if you are wondering should you play Assassin of Kings, there is some major guidance for you. If you like the third Witcher because of the open world and fluid combat, you won't find anything similar here. The world is segmented, some areas are more open, some are straight linear, and combat is way less satisfying, although it is decent enough to not make you rage all the time. It is an older game released at the same time as Skyrim, but just with a fraction of that budget. But if you like third Witcher because of the story, writing, humor and deeply developed characters, then yes, the second part can offer a similar experience. I would give the overall scenario 10 cold beers out of 10. I can absolutely recommend it. Also, the game has boobs in it. On Steam, Assassin of Kings has 90% of positive reviews, left by tens of thousands of people. Basically, this game was the moneymaker that helped CD Projekt create a much bigger third part, which is also heavily discounted. Thief Simulator. If you always wanted to become a thief, good for you. Dive into the life of crime, don't hesitate. You got this. Or you can play this game where you can train and become a thief before becoming a real thief. I'm kidding, of course.
Or am I?
You'll steal in a free-roam sandbox neighborhoods. You'll have to observe your target and gather information that will help you with the burglary. Gather your courage, take the challenge and rob the best secured houses. Buy some high-tech burglar equipment and learn new thief tricks. You can also sell stolen goods and do anything that a real thief does. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. This is an adventure with unique gameplay that blends investigation, action and exploration. It will test the limits of your nerves and intelligence. Yeah, this game is not for the faint of heart. The puzzles can be devilishly difficult, and the plot is full of twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end. You'll have to track down evil in the darkest corners of London while playing as the great detective and untangle a web of intrigue leading to the final stunning revelation about the evil that lurks in the city. Is it real evil or is it just Scooby-Doo level evil? I don't know. Well, I do, but this is not a channel of spoilers. This is a channel of games and potato salad, approved by a sister. Inside and Limbo bundle. What a great deal this is! 2 legendary horror-themed platformers for this price is a must-have. Even if you are not into platformers, these games are like a gateway drug into this beautiful world. If you played Little Nightmares, I would say that Limbo and Inside are members of the same genre, or more likely a subgenre. Creepy but beautiful world, strange creatures and death on every corner. Games are really hard. I can't even remember how many times I died in Limbo, for example, but it didn't bother me when I played. You respawn in a nearby place and can instantly fail again. If you are in doubt, keep in mind that both of these games have a demo version available to try for free, so you won't be risking anything. Although I must warn you, if you don't like puzzles, avoid these games, because you will need to use your brain more than once here, so make sure you have one. Generation Zero. It may not be the best game on this list. It holds only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but the setting and the atmosphere of the game is really worthy of your attention. Honestly, the game was really hyped upon a release, and when people didn't get a masterpiece, bad reviews started to flow. That is a story of many games, and Generation Zero definitely doesn't deserve that, because it may not be a masterpiece, but it's not a bad game as well. Here you will explore alternative Sweden in 1989. One day, Swedes woke up early in the morning and saw that their beloved Sverige is overrun by evil robots. Where did they came from? Who made them? Nobody knows. Probably evil Norwegians who were envious of Swedish reindeer herds. Everyone knows that casual Swedish deer produces 7 times the amount of milk than Norwegian deer does. Even the males. That is the fact. Trust me, every Swede in the comments can confirm that. Anyway, the price is really wallet friendly, and most people who left a review on Steam have from 10 to a few hundred hours of playtime on record. Warhammer 40k Gladius Relics of War. That's a long-ass name, I give them that. The game has a very positive review score and 90% discount. That is great, but of course there is a catch. If you like the game, keep in mind that there are about 13 DLCs available. So yeah, that's a trap for your wallet, but it may be a pleasant one. Maybe you like to suffer, I don't judge. Anyway, Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War brings you a world of terror and violence with a turn-based 4X strategy game. You'll face a challenging AI and cooperate collaborate or compete with friends and strangers across the globe. Play as one of 4 iconic Warhammer factions, each with their own unique playstyle and technology tree. Explore a randomly generated world filled with special features and threatening wildlife that can crush your troops' morale. People on Steam are talking that this is a great strategy game, but as I've mentioned before, many say that without DLCs it feels incomplete. Well, this price is a joke, so you can risk it anyway. Graveyard Keeper. Here you can make candles from human fat, burn witches, and even sell mystery meat to the local tavern. Well, you and I, we both know that this is human flesh from corpses, but nobody else has to know, right? That is not a question, by the way. You know, you wouldn't want to visit a local tavern as a special guest. You know, I like you. Anyway, Graveyard Keeper is the most accurate medieval cemetery management sim of all time, because obviously there are no other medieval cemetery management games. You'll build and manage your own graveyard and expand into other ventures while finding shortcuts to cut the costs. Use all the resources you can find. After all, this game is about the spirit of capitalism and doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business. If you have guts, try this game. If not, you can always harvest some from a fresh dead body. Alan Wake. On Steam it has 90% of positive reviews, so that should keep your attention here. And while Alan Wake is a bit older game, it only means that it stood the trials of time really well. It is presented in the style of a TV series and features action as well as storytelling sequences. As you dive deeper and deeper into the mystery, you'll face overwhelming odds, plot twists and cliffhangers. Yeah, actual cliffhangers in the game, that's cool. It's only by mastering the fight with light combat mechanic that you can stay one step ahead of the darkness. I should probably say that this is a full version of the game, with all the DLCs, improved resolution and all the other stuff you don't really care about if you never played the game. It's good, I do recommend it. Slime Rancher. Last time I checked, it held 18th place among the best games on Steam. Yeah, it is ranked higher than Counter-Strike, Half-Life 2, Dishonored or Fallout New Vegas.
Incredibile!
So this is a charming first-person sandbox experience. You will play a plucky young rancher who sets out for a life 1,000 light years away from Earth. Each day will present new challenges and risky opportunities as you attempt to amass a great fortune in the business of slime ranching. Collect colorful slimes, grow crops, harvest resources and explore the untamed wilds. Also, here you can complete daily requests from other ranchers to get bonus rewards. Earn money to upgrade your stuff, build more corals and expand your ranch. This is a relaxing and fun game, very suitable after a hard work day or as a casual time burner when you have nothing else to do. Well, in that case you can go and make delicious potato salad instead. Batman Arkham Asylum Game of the Year Edition. This is the first one of the Arkham games. You may think that it is quite an old game, and you are right, around 15 years is not a joke. But surprisingly, the graphics are still great. I can't even imagine how this game felt back then, because when I look at it, it's like it never aged at all. Some Elijah Wood of games. Anyway, it still has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam and is one of the best rated games on the store overall. Here you'll use the free flow combat system to chain together unlimited combos seamlessly and battle with huge groups of the Joker's henchmen in brutal melee brawls. You will have to solve interesting puzzles with the help of a cutting-edge forensic tools, including X-ray scanning, fingerprint scan, spray and pheromone tracker, and sooner or later you will meet famous villains, such as the Joker, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy and Jada Pinkett Smith. Well, maybe not the latter, but anyway, this game is a masterpiece even if you don't like Batman. Ryse, Son of Rome. Another game with a ridiculous price tag. Ryse looks like God of War, Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed smashed together, and that is never a bad thing. He will take on a role of a Roman soldier who joins the army to avenge the slaying of your family and then become a hero who must fight to save the Roman Empire itself. Well, we all know that the Roman Empire is no more, so spoilers, you failed, but in the end it doesn't really matter what you did or didn't. All it matters that you had fun by killing hundreds of enemies and did that in satisfying manner. People on Steam are talking that Ryse, Son of Rome is really nice. The game is short, sweet and enjoyable. A very positive review score left by tens of thousands of buyers can confirm that with ease. Darkest Dungeon. In this challenging turn-based roguelite RPG, you will recruit and train heroes and send them to battle in a variety of dungeons. Yeah, as always, send others to do your own job. The interesting part is that these said heroes are very, human. In-game they will battle not only enemies but also stress, fear and lack of potato salad, by which I mean hunger. So you will uncover strange mysteries and pit the heroes against an array of fearsome monsters. Game may not look like it's a lot of fun, but it is, believe me. Even though people love this game, at times it can seem punishing and unfair. But in general, Darkest Dungeon is fun if you like numbers, strategy and turn-based combat. Also, players are seeing many similarities with H.P. Lovecraft stories, like The Alchemist and famous Call of Cthulhu as well, not to mention overall dark and gloomy vibes. The Talos Principle. You find yourself in a strange, contradictory world of ancient ruins and advanced technology. Tasked by your creator with solving a series of increasingly complex puzzles, you must decide whether to have faith or to ask the difficult questions. Who are you? What is your purpose? And what is the best recipe of the potato salad? You'll have to solve more than 120 immersive puzzles, divert drones, manipulate laser beams and even replicate time to prove yourself and find a way out. If you think that you have a great intellect, this game will humble you down, I promise. Enter the Gungeon. This is a bullet hell dungeon crawler following a band of misfits seeking to shoot, loot, dodge roll and table flip their way by reaching the legendary treasure, the gun that can kill the past. Imagine if you had one. You could kill your stupid decision to become whatever you are right now and become a doctor of ding-dongs instead. Be famous, have many fans. It's not too late, you can still change everything. Anyway, you'll select your hero or team up in co-op and battle your way to the bottom of the Gungeon, surviving a challenging and evolving series of levels filled with the dangerously adorable bosses. The score is overwhelmingly positive, so you can't go wrong with this one. Command & Conquer Remastered Collection. These games were pinnacles of the RTS genre about 25 years ago, and now they are both fully remastered in 4K. That sounds amazing and plays floppy disks of nostalgia in my brain. In this release you will find all 3 expansion packs, rebuilt multiplayer, a modernized UI, map editor, and over 7 hours of legendary remastered music by Frank Klepacki. If you are old enough to play these games when they were initially released, this is the best way to relive these days with way better graphics. Here you'll find many cool things, like upscaled cinematic footage, enhanced sidebar UI, leaderboards for one-on-one matches, replays, 250 multiplayer maps, and even official mod support. But if you actually want a modern RTS game with all the cool stuff, these remastered games will not satisfy your needs. Go and play StarCraft 2 instead. It's free and it's awesome. Dead Island Definitive Edition. The same developers who made Dying Light created this zombie-infested game as well, and this zombie apocalypse is more beautiful than ever. You will be running from and killing undead in the beautiful tropical island, a wonderful paradise on Earth, and this contrast is really great. Exploring this island is really fun, from the zombie-infested deserted city to secluded beaches and vast highlands. Roam around in order to discover the story behind the zombie outbreak. You can also play in a story-based 4-player co-op mode. Also, have you noticed that this game actually calls zombies zombies? Not walkers, roamers, crazed ones, biters, freakers and so on, but actual zombies, and they have my respect for not trying to invent the bicycle again. Zombies are zombies.
But what if they are fast and smart?
Then they are fast, smart zombies, period. Anyway, in Dead Island Definitive Edition you will get the main game and all the DLCs as well. Also, graphics are in HD and so on, and the price is more than great. The Evil Within 2. Here you'll play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, who has lost everything. Well, that is written in the game's description, but I honestly hope that he didn't lose his ding-dong. That would suck. So anyway, you were given a chance to save your daughter, and have to descend into the nightmarish world. Horrifying threats emerge from every corner as the world twists and wraps around you. Here you can craft traps, sneak, run and hide, or try to battle the horrors with limited ammo. Sounds familiar, right? Yep, if you are a fan of Resident Evil, the second part of The Evil Within will hit you straight into your feelings. It's a really great game with more than 90% of positive review score. SpellForce 3 Fallen God. Well, most strategy and RPG fans know SpellForce games, but it seems that this one is somehow forgotten. And it is a beautiful game. It is an absolutely standalone title. You don't need to play or even know anything about SpellForce at all to enjoy it. The stories are absolutely separated, just like you and your ex right now. I would say that Fallen God is a hybrid between Warcraft 3 and party-based real-time RPGs. You will be traveling around extremely huge maps with your heroes, and from time to time you will have to build a base and attack unsuspecting enemies, pillage their puny villages and eat their children. Well, maybe not the latter, but who knows, some of your heroes look pretty ravenous, to be honest. The Sinking City. I want to be totally honest with you, this is not a very good game. For some people it constantly crashes, combat is kinda awful and inventory is a blasphemy of some sort. But it has a mostly positive review score and this price is almost good enough. Anyway, this is an adventure and investigation game set in an open world inspired by the universe of H.P. Lovecraft. The half-submerged city of Oakmont is gripped by supernatural forces and you are a private investigator who has to uncover the truth of what has possessed the city and the minds of its inhabitants. Keep in mind that people are saying that if your expectations for this game are low, you will be pleasantly surprised. The game do a great job by making you feel like a truly great detective. And also everyone is agreeing on the fact that this game should be priced 10 euros or below to actually feel like a good purchase. And, you know, this time is now. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Game of the Year Edition. In the first part of Middle-earth, you will fight through Mordor and uncover the secret of the spirit that compels you. You will discover the origins of the Rings of Power, build your legend and ultimately confront the evil of Sauron. The best thing about playing Shadow of Mordor is that it makes you feel overpowered without sacrificing the fear of defeat. You will enjoy great fast-paced combat and a nice good-looking open world full of Lord of the Rings lore. If you are a fan of Tolkien's books or Lord of the Rings movies, then this game will for sure do a little bit extra to make you happy. The plot of the game is okayish, you will find nothing very fancy or mind-blowing here. Despite that, the flow, the pace of the game will not let you get bored, that's for sure. And this version of the game includes new missions. You will have to face Sauron's elite defenders before the Black Gate, dive deeper into Mordor's living world and hunt the wild beasts, and battle against Sauron as Celebrimbor, the great elven lord of the Second Age, to unlock powerful runes and the ability to wield the One Ring. That is awesome, and the game is awesome as well. Shadow Warrior 2. You shall need to survive as a mercenary on the edge of a corrupted world. You will wield a devastating combination of guns, blades, and magic, and with these awesome tools you will eradicate the demonic legions overwhelming the world. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op. Game features procedurally generated landscapes, powerful new weapons, armor, and arcane relics of legend. You will find an array of over 70 lethal blades and explosive firearms. Choose your weapon based on the situation at hand and then dismantle everything that stands in your path with an advanced gore system.
You don't need to be this intact, kind sir.
The game also has destructible terrain that explodes in satisfying ways. It's like if you put the Borderlands and Doom into the Cronenberg's machine, and the Shadow Warrior would be the result of the merging. The game takes about 8 hours to beat, so the deal is really sweet. Absolutely delicious spoon of juicy potato salad. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. The year is 2029. Mechanically augmented humans have now been deemed outcasts, living a life of complete and total segregation from the rest of society. So you, being one of those banished humans, you are forced to operate in a world that has grown to despise your kind. Armed with a new arsenal of state-of-the-art weapons and augmentations, you must choose the right approach, along with who to trust in order to unravel the vast worldwide conspiracy. And you know what this conspiracy is? Someone decided not only to put pineapple in the potato salad, but to replace potatoes themselves with it. Yeah, of course I'm kidding, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided is not a horror game. You will not experience such horrendous actions here. People on Steam are saying that this is a nice game with a nice story and extremely satisfying combat, but won't work if your internet is down. Yeah, it's one of those single-player games that need the internet to work. Not cool. And now, thank you for watching, and don't forget that in my channel you can find hundreds of videos like that with new ones released almost every day. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.